Welcome to the Swift Half, your weekly session of chat from the UKOCR and adventure running scene. Each week, pub landlord Alan and our favourite regular Ian discuss races, runners and anything else that comes to mind. So pull up a pew, pour yourself a drink and join us for the Swift Half.
You're listening to the 57th most popular podcast for people who enjoy yoga, and his friend Boo Boo and Mr. Ranger.
Yeah, my friend, it's the Swift Half again, how are you?
I'm good, Alan. And last week I said it was mid-April. It's the end of April, Alan.
It's like almost May time. It's May. How many bank holidays have we got in May?
Well, I think 3, but I was checking my calendar, and because of various events, I might be off work more than I'm in work over May Day.
That's amazing. Not just May Day, though. You mean all of May?
All of May, beg your pardon. May month, not May Day. I'm just extending.
May Day, I'm not going in.
Yeah, I'm extending May Day.
Oh, mate, I am actually off quite a lot in May because I've got the week off for the Farmyard Jam. I'm off a little bit afterwards as well. I think I don't know why, but I think I booked a week off at the end of May. I don't know why. I think I just randomly booked a week off.
That reminds me. Yeah, I need to take up another day for Farmyard Jam, don't I? The Friday.
For the Friday, to pop down on the Friday, yeah.
Because you've actually picked the only weekend in May that's not a bank holiday.
It wasn't a purpose. We didn't want a bank holiday weekend just because we don't want to be bank holidays anymore. We want to get people to come down and maybe book a day off for Fridays and Saturdays and things like that. It's looking good.
It makes a lot of sense. And to be fair, a lot of other events are over the bank holiday weekends. So, for example, this coming weekend, we've got Spartan and High Rocks, which we'll talk about. At the end of the month, we have High Rocks World Championships, don't we?
Yeah.
And then a week from now, we have King Charles being coronated. Although I'm not quite sure what event that is. Is that an OCR or a fitness race?
It could be either way. I guess maybe for Harry, it could be a bit of fitness racing if he pops over and William don't like him.
Oh, or maybe we do our version of running the bulls, running the corgis.
Running the corgis. That weekend, I think it is that weekend. Let me think. What weekend is that then? So that'll be the 4th, 6th, 6th of May, 6th, 7th of May?
Yeah, as people are listening to this, it is literally the bank holiday after the one you're about to have.
Right. Now, I know there's another event going off there that you're going to love that you don't know about.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, you loved the tunnel race, didn't you? You loved the whole idea of the tunnel race, running in the dark.
Yes, it was really an interesting race, if I'm honest, Alan. I wish they'd do an easier one, maybe there and back.
Well, they are doing it there and back one again, 200 miles again, 30 hours to do it in, yeah? But it's called the Bridge this time, running over the old, is it the Severn Bridge, I believe it is? Running over the old Severn Bridge, there and back, 55 hours to complete 200 miles.
The Severn Bridge. Oh, I imagine that'll get windy.
Well, it does actually say. So this is what it says. This will be an extremely difficult challenge with potential winds and elevation every lap.
I like how you say potential elevation. I don't know that much about the Severn Bridge. Is it like Tower Bridge? Is it going to like open up and suddenly you're going to have to jump across?
It might be windy. I guess if it's windy, it might not lift, so there'll be some downhill sections in the middle when it should be uphill.
Well, yeah, I guess. They used to do something similar on, I think, the Humber Bridge, but I don't think they went there and back a lot. I think it was literally just maybe to the end and that was you done.
I couldn't do it. I have a fear of heights. So the fear of heights running across that. I run across a motorway bridge, yeah, and if it's a road bridge on a motorway, I try and run on the road rather than the pavement, so I'm not near the railings, just in case. Just in case what? I don't know. But there's no chance of my running near them railings.
Well, Alan, you never made last time when you were trying to run the Pennine Way and you got lost about 5 miles from your house. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Long time listener. It's a good job. I had planned, to come and meet you when you got up here. It's a good job you didn't, because the only way you can continue on the Pennine Way is over a single footbridge with a cage on both sides.
Yes, you're quite right. And do you know, I've been across the Pennine Way 3 times, the full distance of the Pennine Way. And once, the very first time I went across that bridge, and I went across it on my hands and knees. And every other time I have taken the 4-mile detour.
Seriously?
Yes. The other 2 times I did it, I took the 4-mile detour. And it literally is a 4-mile detour to take 100 meters. It's 100 meters across that bridge maximum. Yeah.
So you would have run down Windy Hill. Sorry, listener, this is probably only interesting to me and Alan, but I've started, so I'll finish. So you would run down Windy Hill towards Denshaw, and then head over Ogden, and then connect onto the Hollingsworth Lake area, and then back up Halifax Road just to avoid that bridge.
Yes, Ian, I would. That's how. Now, give me an aeroplane. So I've done rock climbing, yeah. I've done abseiling. I've been in helicopters. I've been in planes. Tie a rope to me, and I'm absolutely fine. But if I haven't got a rope or I'm inside something, I've got a massive fear of heights. Yeah,
it's impossible to fall off that bridge. The bridge would have to fall down.
Who knows? It might do. The day I'm going to cross it, it will probably fall down. That's when I don't do it.
That's true. You're from Yorkshire and you're entering Lancashire. They'll probably draw the bridge up.
There's a film. Have you seen that? There's a new film out that's on TV, and someone at work showed it the other day on their phone, where 2 women are climbing a tower. It might be called The Tower or something like that, or Fall or something strange. But massive tower in the middle of some desert, and they're climbing up it. And watching it, I was getting vertigo just watching it.
Well, I've not watched it yet, but someone was telling me about it and completely spoiled it. The intern's dad spoiled it for the intern, and then the intern spoiled it for me.
Yeah, actually, the person who was telling me about it spoiled it for me, so I do know what happens. But we're not going to spoil it for our listeners, are we?
We're not going to say that the magic unicorn comes and saves them. Oops.
Oops, we've done it again. Talking about magic unicorns, what did the magic unicorn from Brewdog bring you this week?
Well, it's actually an athletic brewing unicorn this week, typically. We are on Oktoberfest because I'm trying to get through some of my alcohol-free beer because I want to buy some more, but I can't justify it when I've still got about 25 cans in the fridge. So Athletic Brewing and Brewdog are both bringing out new stuff. I want to try it, but you know when you're a kid, Alan, and your mum won't let you have some more sweets until you've eaten all the ones in the house?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. You've got to eat everything in the house before you get some more.
So, yeah, I'm going for an Oktoberfest. I think this one might have been one that Sophia sent across. Well, I picked up when I was over there. So, thank you, Sophia. It is a nice beer.
Cool. Well, I'm not drinking again. I'm on Coca-Cola tonight. Not feeling it in. I'm on some tablets. I've taken some medication. And you can't.
I'm going to ask, is the reason you're on medication, Alan, because of what you did over the weekend?
Yes, it is. It is to do with that, Ian. So the little 61 milers that I happened to do over the weekend at my little ultra, at 52 miles into it, which I was doing quite well, I started to get blisters. My feet got wet, and that's why I'm going to put it down to my feet getting wet. So I was absolutely fine until that point. Went through a marshland, my feet got wet at about 52 miles into it, felt the blisters starting. I was really struggling to run. So I was doing that, what is it called, jeffing, when you run like 100 meters, walk 100, run 100, walk 100. I did that for about a mile. Yeah,
it's run walk, but the trendy kids call it jeffing.
Yeah, well, I'm trendy then. I was doing that for a little bit, and then I had to walk. I literally walked the last 5 miles, 6 miles constantly, just couldn't run at all. And then last night, I took my socks off, and 3 toenails came off with my socks. So rather than get infected, I've taken some antibiotics, plastered them up, took some antibiotics and some painkillers.
Can I just double check that they were your toenails and you haven't been buying cheap socks again?
No, I hadn't. They were my toenails. They were in there. There wasn't the socks from the charity shop, because I do like socks from charity shops. But no, these were my toenails. I've lost one on my right foot, and I've lost 2 on my left foot.
I love how you had to add up then. It would have helped if you could see your toes.
It would have. I can't see. They're actually covered in pink KT tape at the moment. So I've got them all plastered up. I don't want to get no infection in them. I want to run again. So yes, I'm on antibiotics. I just went to doctors, got a course of antibiotics, said, I don't want to get infection, and rather than wait until I got it, is there something I can do to help? And with a bit of cajoling, they went, yeah.
No, that's fair. And since I've been doing a lot of less endurance stuff, I don't miss blisters. I absolutely do not miss blisters.
No, and I don't get them. Like I said, I've got some, I think they're called 5,000 socks, 5,000 miles or something like that. And the double layered socks. So it's like a sock inside a sock. So one fits right on your skin, and then the outer layer rubs against your shoe. So it means you don't get no rubbing. But because I think my feet got wet, I think that was the key. I've probably got to try and keep my feet dry next time. I did put Vaseline on them because that stopped sweating, but this wasn't sweat. This was wet from outside. So, yeah. But I feel good. 61, I've had no DOMs. I've had no leg pains, no nothing. I'm feeling good for my 100 coming up, Ian.
Well, you did do a 5 mile cool down.
Thanks. That's exactly what Wendy said to me today. She went, no, you didn't really run 61 miles, did you? I went, yes, I did. She went, no, you didn't. You walked it.
That is actually such a, and again, we're going off on a tangent here, but it is one of them little things which is the difference between people who can run and people who are runners. And I'm trying not to gatekeep here, but it's one of them little things where people who are runners realize that a 20-mile run, unless you're really good, will often be, say, 18 miles with 2 miles of kind of walk or stops and all that.
Yeah. It is. A lot of people, I saw it at the London Marathon at the weekend. That was exactly the same, weren't it? There were a lot of runners there that were walking, and then they would start running again. And, it is a bit of a mixture. I didn't run the full 52. I wasn't constantly running. We came out of Door and Totley, and we had a mile climb up an hill, so a mile and a half in distance, but up the hill it was 2,500 feet elevation in a mile and a half.
In a mile and a half. So it's like you need a grappling hook.
It was like 45 degrees, all on average, going all the way up and that was at 40 miles. That was
would have been nice on the reverse route.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah. But then we wouldn't have had the downhill section that we got near the end that I ended up walking down at about 55 miles. It was a massive downhill section. But
yeah, I do say when an RD is doing it, I much prefer a steep uphill and a long downhill, because the other way is terrible, because unless you're a fell runner, a steep downhill is even worse than a steep uphill.
Yeah. I did 15 hours and 30 minutes, I think I did, in which I think I'm quite pleased with.
Which explains why you didn't return any of my texts.
Any of your texts on Saturday? No one got a reply to any text, any message. I came back and I had my phone on me all the time, and sometimes it would beep and I'm going, I'm not looking, and I was concentrating. I got home about 10:30 at night, I think it was, and I put my phone on charge, and I still didn't look at any message until the phone. I've never gone that long without looking at my phone. It's weird.
You know what I did, Alan? And again, this is a complete tangent. I went on lunch the other day. I think it was yesterday. So I went on lunch and we got a little bit of a staff room type thing where you can eat your butty. I left my phone at my desk. I thought, I'm going to take a complete break for everything. I'll take half an hour off. And it was magical, chatting to people who were in the lunchroom, and that you don't realize how connected you are to your phone.
We're so connected to it now. Just having them breaks. I don't take mine into my lunch when I'm at work. It's with me, but it's not. I'm not using it. I'm not doing anything with it unless someone calls me. But right. It creates conversation. We lose that old conversation now. The element of talking. And one of the things that really winds me up, and I do it as well, Ian, is you'll go to a pub with your friends and you take your phone out and you put it on your table. And it winds me up a little bit, you know what I mean? Because you see people constantly looking at it and wanting to read. And I do it, but it winds me up when others do it as well.
And you almost have the phone domino effect, don't you? In that the first person will reach for the phone and then everyone will check it.
Yeah. Oh, Alan's got a message. Have I got one?
But again, over the weekend, while you were doing that, as you know, I was in Liverpool on a stag do with some people from the fitness racing and the OCR world and that. And other than posting the results for High Rocks Anaheim, I don't think I was on my phone that much. And it was really, really good.
Yeah, putting the phone down. But we're in the business of media and we can't put our phones down. I'd love to have a break from it, a proper break from it.
It's true. Well, after you didn't respond to my text, I had no reason to have my phone on me.
Alan's ignoring me. Throw my phone away.
Yeah, don't need it anymore. Don't need it. But no, listener, once you've listened to this podcast, just give yourself a phone break, and then when you've had your phone break, go into the archives and download another episode.
Oh, always marketing, Ian. Always marketing.
Always marketing. Shall we talk a little bit about London Marathon? You mentioned it there. And for various reasons, i.e. being hungover, I didn't watch all of it, but I watched the key bits, mainly because you'd woken up and you started texting me to remind me to check on it. So I had a look. And what a race, eh?
Oh, both men's and women's. I mean, let's talk about the men's first. Kelvin Kiptum, second ever marathon. Was it Venice? I think he did. Or was it Venice or Berlin? He did one of the others, and he ran the second ever fastest, the fastest ever second half of a marathon at Venice. And then when he kicked at London, and everyone were going, "Oh, he's looking back." And did you watch it? He looked back every 50 meters. I thought, just get on with it, just crack on. Just you're losing him, just crack on. And it looked like they were coming back and that, but then it kicked and he kept going and going and going, didn't it? I mean, 2 hours, 1 minute 25, fastest ever London marathon.
Fastest ever London marathon, second fastest marathon ever. Yeah. So yeah, only one person, only Kipchoge, I can't remember his name for a second, has ever beaten him, and he beat all of Kipchoge's times other than the world record that he holds. And you know what I was thinking as he crossed the line of just missing out?
What were you thinking?
I was thinking this is like an athlete who gets second or third place at an OCR because they just don't know the obstacles, because it's only their second ever race. And then when they figure it out, they dominate.
Yeah. Because he didn't, in that first half, he just sat back and just ran with everyone, didn't he? He wasn't trying to do anything, but then when he hit that aid station, he just, let's kick. I've got 10K to go. Let's just hit it. And he hit them afterburners and left them.
He did, but like you say, he was making a mistake of looking behind him to see. Yeah, if you've still got it in your tank, just keep going. He didn't look that tired, and obviously he wasn't because he carried on. And it was little things like following the bike at the end, not realizing that the bike would veer off.
Yeah, that bike, and that was what was that? That must have been 30 meters off course before, detour to get back. That was, I don't think it'd have got under 2:01, but it'd have gone a bit faster.
It would have been close, and like I say, when he's got the experience, it's going to tumble, isn't it? The record. And could he, Alan, be the first one to get a natural sub 2 hour?
I think it's in him, Ian. I really do. I think if he can get that first half, a good fast first half, a good fast 30K under his belt, and then kicks like he has done at both Vienna and London, then yeah, he's got 2 hours onto it.
He does.
Big shout out to Emile Caris as well from Great Britain, getting 6th.
Exactly. And Alan, we have to talk about Mo as well.
Yeah. What's left for him, Ian? Is it his farewell, do you think? Is that
he
it for him?
Confirmed it is, and he's going out the right way. He's going out at Great North Run, which was a race that was, well, certain racers get recognised with a certain race, don't they? And for Mo, he's done the Great North Run so many times.
100%, and I think won it several times, I believe, as well, hasn't he?
He has indeed. So I think it's a nice way for him to bow out, and unfortunately, Father Time gets to all of us.
I think that's the case. I think it's age, isn't it? Do you think we might see him? I want to say like UTMB and things like that, but I mean he's more of a road runner. But do you think we might see him going ultra running?
Honestly, I think he's done with racing. I honestly think he'll retire. I do think maybe he does some ambassador type things, and I don't know, maybe he goes out for, he'll run I don't know, a 400 meter. I know he's not a 400-meter runner, but he might do that with some celebrities or something like that. Just like they have Soccer Aid. Maybe if they had something which was a athletics equivalent, he'll go and do that.
Yeah. I'd like to see him go to. I love him as an athlete. I think he's been a great ambassador for British sport. I do like him.
Maybe we convince him to work on his upper body and get him at Spartan.
Oh, mate, he would dominate, wouldn't he? His pace would just dominate.
You heard it here first. For winner of the 2024 UKOCR series
is Mo Farah.
Mo, you are not listening to this show, but if you are, get in touch and we will happily pay for your British Obstacle membership so you can take part.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Someone reach out to me if you know him. Tell him we'll pay for it. Yeah. Before I talk about women, I just touched on UTMB there. Have you seen Ryan Atkins' posts?
I've missed it.
So he is doing his first 100-mile non-OCR event coming up this week at Crow's Nest Pass at Alberta. And what is put on it, the plan stroke goal is to qualify for UTMB this year.
Wow.
Following in the footsteps of Jonathan.
He is. Do you reckon we're going to see more and more OCR athletes do that? Because Rhea Coble has confirmed that she's probably not running that many Spartans. We heard on Who's Hot, I believe Becky Neal mentioned it, that Andrea will be doing more and more trail running. She wants to do the Golden Trail Series.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we've kind of reached the end of a certain generation of obstacle racers and the next generation's coming?
I think there's no money left in it. I think people have seen John Alban move into trail running and now make a living from it. Now, John Alban is an amazing athlete. He was the best OCR athlete we've probably seen in our time. I think other athletes that are just that fraction behind him, and Ryan's probably up there with him. Well, Ryan is up there with him. They're seeing this and they're saying, hang on a minute here. If Jonathan can make that transition and go and make a living from it, why can't I? Because in OCR at this moment in time, where's the prize money? There is no prize money coming. There's no more big sponsors coming in. The sponsors are coming in, but they're not going to sponsor in terms of prize money. There's no huge prize money anymore. These athletes can't make a living from OCR. So yeah, I believe we're going to see them moving into other sports.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic though, isn't it, Alan? Because if you remember, there used to be no money in running, which encouraged a lot of people to come to OCR.
Yeah, I think OCR will get it. I think that is the plan. I think the moment we see something in the Olympics that's with us, you're going to see an influx of money. But until that point, we're scrimping and scraping a little bit to get money, get people involved who are prepared to put the money up front and not look at ROI, because it's all about return on investment and not just about exposure. Sometimes you've got to just go exposure.
Yeah, it's very hard because, and we had this with Giles last week, didn't we? They at Tough Mudder are currently agonising over, we've got this pot of money. Do we give it out to the best 3 or 6 athletes, or do we use it to spend on whatever to improve the athlete experience for other people, which may lead to more people coming?
Yeah, it's a really tough for a race to do, because at the end of the day, they're businesses. They are businesses, and they've got to make money.
No, exactly. And you mentioned UTMB, which is a great segue, Alan. Guest landlord or guest landlady Sophia is actually running a UTMB sponsored or presented race in America this weekend.
Oh, wow.
She is doing the Canyons, which I believe is in California. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure where in California. I think it is in North. But yeah, she is doing the 100K.
Oh, well done, Sophia. Good luck. Hope you go out and smash it. Give it everything you can.
Which I think, I'm going to do translation, is 62.5 miles. So she's beating you by 1.5.
Actually, this weekend I was going to run around the car park just to get my 100-mile badge, and when I finished, I thought, no chance.
to get your 100k.
100k badge, yes. I was like, no chance. It can wait until July when I do 100 miles.
Should we talk about the lady London Marathon race?
Yes. So, what an amazing race this was. Did you think Sifan Hassan was going to win when they came into that? There was 3 of them, wasn't there? They came around that corner. Was it 3 or? Yeah.
I didn't think she was going to win when she started handing out water bowls.
Well, no. I mean, that was the thing. Because, I mean, she should have never have won. She stopped. She was cramping. She banging her hips at one point. You know, she messed up with the water. She giving other people water. It was a funny race, the women's race. But when she came around that corner, I was looking and I was thinking, well, which of these are going to win? And then she just put the afterburners on. 200 meters to go. That was like watching Linford Christie sprint up there. How fast she was going. She was absolutely flying. Them long legs of hers are giving so much Hayden's twist going over and over. Absolutely amazing win.
No, she did so well, and you think of all the adversity in that she'd been fasting for Ramadan, so she's not really been able to work on her nutrition. I'm sure at that level anyway, you kind of know it. It's not like the rest of us muddling through, but just amazing.
Absolutely fantastic. The year of the novice, I'm going to call it. You know, in the men's, it's second ever race, women's. But was it their first ever marathon as well? I think it was her first ever marathon, wasn't it?
It may have been. And again, it's scary how much better she will get when she figures it out.
Yeah. But on the flip side, did you watch the wheelchair guy and Marcel Hug win for the, I would say, 8th time?
I miss that, sadly.
It got a wheelchair that cost over £30,000, aerodynamic, and it's amazing to see them. But they were saying, because I was watching it all. I love London Marathon. I was watching it on. They were saying he made a gamble right at the start. He went with wet weather gloves, and it paid off for him because it never dried up. Whereas some of the other racers went with dry gloves, and they couldn't get it. So yeah, small details in that wheelchair race win races.
It really is. It's all about them small. Someone once said to me, Alan, they said that it's not about doing something 100% better than someone. It's about doing 100 things 1% better.
Yeah, that's right. Wasn't that in Formula One? There was one guy that gave all his team and said, "Look, I want you all to go 1% better than what you were last year, and we'll have the fastest car." Was it Toto Wolff and Mercedes?
It may have been, and yeah, because all it is that little. It's like jumping over a wall, isn't it? You jump just to get over a wall. You don't practice your high jump to clear the wall by 20 feet.
No.
And if you can clear it by 20 feet, then you'll be winning the UKOCR series in 2014.
It's him, Mo Farah. While we're talking about results, can I give a shout out to Kevin Dent?
Of course you can.
One of our patrons went to Wolf Run, and I actually sent him. I had a VJ top that was a bit too tight for me since I've put a little bit of weight on, and he bought my VJ vest off me. So, you know, my running vest, I had a VJ running vest. Don't use it anymore. It was too small. I wanted something a bit bigger. So he purchased that from me, and I gave him the T-shirt that I got free, and he wore it, and he said it's his good luck charm now because he got second. So one of our patrons, well done.
So clothes that you've owned have got a first place and a second place at Wolf Run. So now we need to get some of your shoes or jogging bottoms getting third place.
Yeah, in third place. I've got the hat trick, won't I?
Do you want to go through? We've got some other London Marathon news, but do you want to quickly go through some results while we're at it, Alan? Which ones do you want to go to?
Yes, Ian. Let's go with the British Obstacle Sports Trials, the national trial results down at Nuts Course. Now, first place, Federico Di Carrier.
Well done, Fedi. She's been training hard in Italy, hasn't she? Doing Spartan races over there.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Second, Katie Stilwell. Third, Tamar Barkley. And fourth, Libby Joyce got fourth as well.
Well done to Libby and Tamar and obviously Kate Stilwell.
Yeah. I mean, did we think Fedi were going to win? I think a lot of us podiumed her, but didn't expect to take the win. So big well done there.
Wait, I just need to check my predictions. Actually, yeah, I did predict that Federico would win.
Talking about predictions, people need to get on their predictions for this weekend, don't they?
They do. Although my way's a lot better.
It's a lot better. Predict afterwards, Ian. No. In the men's, Morgan Maxwell taking the win for Rumble Racing. Second, someone who's up and coming, Samuel Clark. So if I remember rightly, I think he was second at Nuts as well earlier this year, making a bit of a name for himself. And third, the co-host of UK's Who's Up, Chris Shipley. He did say fancy his chances as well on Who's Up.
Well done, Chris. And I did have him as third in my prediction here that I'm looking at.
You are getting me in. While we're doing these, shall we do the 3K AG British national team, everyone who qualified down there? So we've got quite a few. I'll give a few shout-outs. So I'm not going to go through the categories, but these are the people. Miria Burton, Harry Jeffrey, Izzy Young, Hayden Andrews, Mia White, Imi Hales, Tommy Matthews, Cheryl Pace, Connor Wickens, Shelley Tompkins, Zach Harper, Louise Ferryman, Jason Morland, Barry Buchanan, Robert Border, Incanio Casales, Jason Wright, Tony Leary, and Andrew Durrance. They all qualified. So big shout-outs there.
Lots of big shout-outs there, Alan. Did I read something about that as well in terms of the qualification and needing standbys? I'm sure I saw that. Sorry, I'm just going to check my...
This is for the 100 metres. No, you're going for the 100 metres. So the 100 metres, British Obstacle Sports are looking for some reserve spots. So what they've done is they've given out the 100 metres at this moment in time. Okay, so the 100 metres are Alex Arnold, Becky Neal, Bethany Lodge, Corbin Mackin, Imi Hales, Jack Carpenter, Mila Stanzani, Oliver Addy, Samuel Clark, Shiloh Duhene, Tommy Matthews, and Victor Mikhailov. Okay, so that's the 100 metre team for the OCREC. However, they would like some stand-ins. So if you're wanting to be there, let them know. They might have some, and they also might have a few additional places coming up, but that's the team at this moment in time.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So have we covered off Nuts now?
Nuts is done, yeah.
Where do you want to go next?
Let's go Codebreaker, because you put this on. Rick Burgess down at Codebreaker.
I did. It was this, I want to call it scavenger hunt type thing, isn't it? Or you've got to work. So it's not necessarily an OCR, but it does tax your physical capabilities and your mind.
Yes, it's a bit of everything.
Absolutely, Alan. Do you have them up, or do you want me to get them up?
I've got the results. So these were team events, weren't they?
They were indeed.
And the first team with so you got points for whatever you received, and the first team was aptly named Going for Gold. So well done to them. Then Team Touring, Running Out of Ideas, MTK, the Blacksmiths, Three Broke. I'm not going to say the next word, but it's a female dog, and the Three Moles.
The Three Moles.
The Three Moles. I like that. I like that. The Three Moles got the wooden spoon. So no, I like that. The Three Moles. That's a good name, that.
And we should say, Alan, that they've announced their next event on this, which is the 1st of October, I believe, the autumn Codebreaker. So they've already got 2 teams signed up. So get in now while there's still places available.
Yeah. If it wasn't so far away, I'd love to do it. Just the whole... It's a huge distance for us, isn't it? 6-hour drive.
It is. Speaking of things which weren't that far away, but I somehow missed, Conquer Fitness was this weekend. Firstly,
I saw some messages coming through on Sunday morning that have been sent Saturday.
Firstly, big thanks to both Matt Rigby and Will Chung for sending us through some content. We haven't yet shared any of it, but we will in the future. But yeah, thank you to Matt, thank you to Will for sending that over. I've got the results here, Alan.
Give us the results, Ian.
Okay. Well, firstly, I've got to say, what I love is Conquer Fitness now give out flags for the top 3, which I think is really good.
Yeah, I like that.
What I don't so much like is on their Instagram page, they have done the 3 categories, but they've done first and then the 3 winners in each category, then second and then third. So this could be, I could mess this up very easily. So let's see if I get this right. Third place female was Province and PBs. Again, these are team names. Second place female was Team Brian and Tommy, the sequel.
Right.
Me neither. And first place female was Jocelyn and Taylor. I presume Jocelyn and Taylor are their names.
Yeah.
Third place mixed team, Alan, was Burpees and Beer.
Oh, I like that. I've seen that team name before.
They might have competed last year, and they might have done well last year. Second place was team Best or Bust.
Yep, Best or Bust.
And first place was Former Jones.
I love team names, me like this, when they just make them up.
They really do. It is one of the best things about these kind of teams. I really wish that what they did do when they announced this was to say who was in the team as well, because it would be nice to give the actual people a shout out. Third place male was CrossFit B76, which isn't quite as hilarious as Form Jones.
No.
We then had a second place male team, the 92, and first place male team, I think won due to their name.
What was the name?
Buck Furpies.
Obviously, they're Spartan fans.
Well, one of them, Alan, is someone you know.
Who do I know?
It was someone you interviewed. In fact, someone who's coming on the show very soon.
Was it Oliver?
It was Oliver indeed.
And he comes out on Monday.
Perfect. Well done, Oliver. You've helped us out with a great segue. But yeah, Oliver and his partner, who I want to say Kieran, but if I've got that wrong, Oliver, correct me, and I apologise for that. But yeah, they took first place.
Well done, guys. Well done. He is an athlete. He is a proper athlete. Oliver.
He is a really... But doing that, it's not been back that long from Panama.
Panama, no. Let's go coast to coast to Panama, and then let's do this.
Exactly. While we're talking about fitness games, try and go through the 55 games.
Yes.
We had these guys on not long ago. It was up in Scotland. It's processing, which is why I'm killing time. But anyway, the female triples elite. In third place, we had Lab Squad 2.0. We had No Idea, the reboot, in second place. And GJ Coaching in first place. Oh, we then had intermediates. I like that. Elite and intermediate. So in third place, you have the CFA girls in the triples intermediate female. Second, you had the Reva girls. And first, you had Blaze. Okay, shall we move on, Alan?
Just Blaze, nothing, just Blaze.
Just Blaze.
I've got visions of their tops being like, like WWE wrestling tops with just fire on them. We're just like, Blaze. Wasn't that a gladiator as well? Wasn't the gladiator called Blaze?
I think there was a gladiator called Blaze back in the day, Alan. We're showing our age.
I digress. Yeah.
In the male triples elite, we had SBF Lions in third place. I do wonder whether that's Scott Brown Fitness Lions.
I would have thought it would be, yes, SBF, yeah.
Then we had G&J Coaching in second place and Big Rigs Hybrid in first place. In the intermediates, we had lots of things. In third place, Mark Nickel Fitness. Second place, GJ Coaching. And first place, JPM. I presume they've gone the boring route of just taking their first initial.
Oh, JPM. That GV coaching, they did quite well, didn't they?
They did. I'd love to tell you who won the mixed doubles elite, but there's no one listed. So me and you won it, Alan, even though we're not a mixed team, but we are a double act. Anyway, in the mixed doubles intermediate, CrossFit Airdrie got third place. Vicious and Delicious got second place. And Functional, and that's Functional with a K, got first place.
Cool. Like it. And while we're talking about teams, can I digress one more?
Of course you can.
It's a good segue, but we can go back to what we was going to talk about. Spartan this week, first race in the UKOCR series, and it's your chance to get your team in. So if you are running, you need to register your team. Go to the UKOCR link tree, which is on our Instagram page. It's also in the podcast link. Make sure you are registered under a team. There's a link in there to do it. There's also one on the British Obstacle Sports page as well. But make sure you register as a team, whoever you're going to run for.
And that reminds me, I might need to re-sign up for British Obstacles because I know I wasn't in March. I know I wasn't in April, but I might be in May. So I probably need to go and do that before James Burton sends debt collectors out for me.
He will send them for you as well. I'm well ahead, me, but it will send them field. Ian, give me your money.
Yeah, it really is. It's not anything other than a laziness thing. So don't be like. Do you remember the stick figure men saying, "Be like Brian" or "Don't be like Brian"? Don't be like Ian, guys. If you haven't already, pause this podcast and go and sign up to British Obstacle Sports. Renew your membership now.
Yes, without doubt.
Right. We just touched on some fitness racing. Should I go through the rest of the fitness racing world now? We've got a few bits to get through.
Yep.
Okay, we've got High Rocks coming this weekend in London, Sunday and Monday because it's a bank holiday. We did a preview show on the fitness racing podcast. So if you haven't already, go and have a listen to that. I'm looking forward to it, Alan. Me and the intern are doing mixed doubles, which means I've got my pom-poms ready.
Oh, liking it. Mixed doubles.
I'm going to cheerlead. That's all I'm good for.
I bet you don't end up doing the lunges.
I bet you I don't end up doing the lunges. You know what, Alan? I've been practicing and it's still a struggle with a 10. So, yeah, I'm doomed.
Are you making an agreement that you'll do the full farmer's walk and you'll do something else full if Jen the intern does the lunges?
Well, I've agreed that I'll probably do a lot of the cardio, maybe. So I'll probably do the ski erg and the rower, which I don't mind. In fact, there was a great tip. I'm going to spoil the episode. There was a great tip for doubles competitors in High Rocks, which is there is so much stigma about making sure you have half, when in reality, what you should do is do what's best for the team. And what Mike Nolan did for me, he described it as you do your best, I'll do the rest, which was a great way of looking at it. But I got told about this sandwich technique, Alan.
Which is, go on.
Whoever's strongest on a certain station starts that station, and then the person who's weaker picks up just enough to give them a breather, and they do the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. Didn't we talk about 55 games about the team events when we was with the guy who ran it? What was his name? The guy who runs the 55 games.
You're putting me on the spot now because for the life of me, I do know his name and it's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, when we interviewed 55 games and put it up, yeah, we talked about that, didn't we? This idea of you go until you can't and then you get a breather.
Yes. And you do it so the person who's the best at that event does more at that event. Because they do it a little bit different. They can run. The first person to get to it can start if they got to the row. The first person who gets to the row can start it, even if the other people don't get there, can't they? And that's what we talked about. That you make sure that person is not the fastest runner is not on the machine when it ends. You want them to have had that breather so that they can get to the next event and do as much as they can before the others get there.
Exactly. And I'm smiling, Alan, because I've looked it up and we should be both really embarrassed at this point.
Go on.
It's Alan Strachan.
Oh, it's Alan Strachan. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, because I called him Gordon Strachan the entire one.
And that's probably why you can't think of his name. But the name Alan, we really should get. But yeah, so that's probably what we'll do. Like on ski erg, I will go for as long as I can. Then Jen takes over and then I finish it off. On everything after that, Jen will go for as long as she can. And hopefully she doesn't need a break.
Everything else, Jen. Everything else. Jen does 99 wall balls. Ian finishes the last one off just to claim the glory and across the line.
Well, I'm letting her get a head start on crossing the line. But yeah, so that's this weekend. We will, of course, talk about it next week, and we'll also talk about it on Fitness Racing Podcast. We also, Alan, this past weekend, a new High Rocks Ladies World Record was set by Megan Jacoby.
A new world record? Oh, wow. I didn't see this.
Well, you were probably toenails were falling off. It was Saturday, and in fact, yeah, it would have been happening whilst you were probably at mile 25, maybe, give or take.
Oh, wow. Wow. What was the time?
58 something. So she even skipped 59.
Oh, straight under. We did. I think you have said this, in one of your podcasts, that you're expecting now that they're getting proper athletes. No, I want to phrase that. Now they're getting full-time athletes taking part and they're doing specific training for High Rocks that we're going to see records tumble.
We really are. It is. Eventually, we'll hit the point like you have in the 100 meters where you can't go down any further, or you're talking microseconds and that. But yeah, at this moment in time, records were, it was 58:58. How could I forget that?
Wow, that's pretty good. Do you think we're going to eventually get down to maybe 56s on the women's?
I don't know. I reckon 57's possible, but I think it'll take a long time to get. In fact, I think it'll take a while to get back to 58.
Right.
We'll see. It was. I'm not going to call it a fast course per se, but it did have certain advantages. So, for example, there was only one turnaround on the walking lunges, and on the farmer's carry was a single turnaround.
See, that is a massive difference. That I do believe that things like one turnarounds are going to be a huge difference. You're going in a straight line. Your focus is getting on the end into it. You know what I mean? It's you're not going backwards and forwards. And
we have seen that where you have things like a burpee broad jump is just a long. You start one end and then you finish on the other end. It does really help, and it's the unfortunate thing about High Rocks is it's standardized, but it's not identical.
Yeah. Do you think at Manchester at the Worlds we're going to have the best athletes go there? Yeah. And then we're going to get the best athletes go there. But Manchester's not known as a fast track, is it?
It will not be fast. And to be fair, it doesn't need to be, because when you're at a World Championships, time doesn't matter. All that matters is beating the person in front of you.
But will that go in? Do you think someone like Hunter's going to attack it different then? Will he go out and just attack it, or will he save a bit of energy?
Hunter will do Hunter. Hunter will do Hunter's thing. So he will decide. A lot of time he is someone who just looks and attacks it. What is interesting, obviously, is Tim Vinish, who we've had on the show, if you remember, previously. He has run the Manchester course. Sandy has run the Manchester course. They know it's slow. And if you've not run that course, it's not just the case of it's 3 laps, but it's, Alan, as you found out, those far ends are super short.
Yeah, very.
And if you don't know how to take those corners, it can add seconds. And it's adding seconds to 3 laps or 2 and a bit laps, however many we go with.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be a great race. I hope we're going to be there.
I hope, fingers crossed, we will be there, not competing. Unfortunately, it would have to roll down a lot for me to get a place. We're probably talking another pandemic for it to have rolled down to me. But anyway, I want to give a quick shout out. We collaborated with these guys over the weekend. Hybrid Fitness Media is up and running. That is our good friend Matt B's alternate channel for all things fitness racing. So if you don't already follow them on IG, go and give them a like. So that's that. Some other things. Deca World Champs have been announced, Alan.
Oh, Texas?
It is. It is in Dallas, Texas. It is from the 1st to the 3rd of December, so Christmas in Texas. And
will it be hot?
It probably will be. I've no clue. But what I do know is I messaged our good friend, Theo, and asked him, almost as a bit of a joke, because I don't think I'll be able to go. But I said, can you make me a bed up?
And I bet he said yes.
He did. And then he showed me Google Maps from his house. He also lives in Dallas. His house to the venue. Guess how far?
Well, it's one town, Dallas, so 30 minutes.
Hour and a half.
How big is Dallas? That's bigger than Yorkshire.
I haven't looked into it too much, but my suspicion is calling it Dallas is a little bit like calling Tough Mudder Northwest Manchester.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's about right, yeah. Or Tough Mudder Yorkshire.
Yeah, it's just about in, but it's surrounded by all sides by Lancashire, isn't it? But yeah, so I'd love to get out there. I doubt we will get out there unless we get lots of really generous patrons, but no, or even better, on lots of generous sponsors. But no, I don't think we'll be going out there.
I'm surprised Yancey hasn't sent you an invite. I think he'll send you an invite.
He might, but I've still got to get airfare. Final thing, Nuclear Fit, Alan, who we've spoken to and we helped launch.
Yeah.
Nuclear Fit have announced today, so a few days ago, as you're listening to this, Saturday the 29th of July will be their second event. So we've got the first event coming up in a few weeks, but their second event is the 29th of July.
Oh, brilliant. So they're already planning for a second. I like that. That's great news. Well done, James, team down at Nuclear.
No, exactly. And also, if you're listening to this, I know you've been tagging me in a few things. I will get round to sharing. It's just we've had so much stuff going on recently in the fitness racing world. It's hard to share everything, isn't it?
It is. It is. Can we share some breaking news on fitness world though?
Of course we can, Alan. What's happened?
We only need to tell a few people though, because we don't want everyone to know that.
Okay, so just our listeners.
Just our listeners. We've ordered some patches, haven't we? And we've ordered some fitness racing podcast patches.
We have indeed. We have indeed. You say that I haven't okayed the design yet.
Well, people, save your money. Save your money. Get your money saved up. Yeah. The first we've never done anything for fitness racing, but we thought we'd do something different, wouldn't we?
Oh, perfect. I've just seen, I've got a message to respond to, don't I?
Yes, you have. Yeah, to say whether you're approving them or not.
Right. Okay. I'll.
Live on air, Ian's approving the patches, people.
Are you happy with them?
Yeah, I am. Yes, I think they look good. I think it's a really bold design. Nothing OTT. Nice design.
I'm not sure. The blazing skull, I'm not sure it really fits in.
No, it's the truck under the bottom that I quite like that's different. I've never not thought about a truck on high ropes, but fitness racing, but I like it.
Yeah, we really should. No, listener, just so you're aware, it is the logo as you'd expect it. There's no trucks. Because we're going to disappoint people, Alan, and we do kind of want to sell these to, well, basically get the money that we put up for it back. Oh dear.
Yes.
Ideally, before the intern figures out we've done it, and before Wendy does. And
everyone who is a £6 patron will get one of these free of charge as well.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So there we go. I've got a few things before we go on. So I'm going to go through British Obstacle Sports first before we talk about Spartan that's coming up this weekend. So British Obstacle Sports early bird prize for British OCR Junior Champs ends this Sunday. It's £30 for competitive waves, £15 for non-competitive, and you get a £2.50 discount for members to the non-competitive wave as well. So get signed up. Do you ever go on the British Obstacle Sports website? Because they have discounts on there as well, if you remember, and you log into the members section.
No.
Do you know that?
No.
Well, there's discounts for everything. I only know because I always give one to Overload, so people who are going to Overload, they get one. But Swanbourne Endeavour, early bird price too, and you get £5 off early bird price.
Really?
That goes up on Sunday as well, yeah. So if it's an early bird price, you still get £5 off for members. So cheaper than anywhere else, which I think is absolutely amazing.
Oh, fantastic. That's great news, Alan.
It is. So let's talk Spartan this week, because we've had our good friend Graham, I almost forgot his name then.
We're doing that a lot today.
Yeah, I know. That has sent us a few things, which I looked at the other day. Laser pistols in the festival area, Ian.
Yeah, and this was actually broke on Who's Hot, wasn't it? Because Karen was on from Spartan HQ, and she mentioned that they're going to have the laser pistols in the festival area. Don't point at your eyes, kiddies. But yeah, you'll be able to test them.
I'm loving it. So they're going to have laser guns, yeah, plus beer pong and ice baths in festival area as well.
Wow.
This is proper, this is tough, but they're going to Spartan.
Yeah, kind of. I can't wait to see taking shots of a fireball and then throwing a spear.
But on to a little bit more things. First of all, let's talk maps with them.
Okay.
No obstacles on the map.
Yeah, which I liked.
Did you know? I don't. I bet Becky's killing herself. Becky will be fuming because you know what Becky's like. She likes to know the obstacle list, take them in order, but no obstacle list.
Well, to be fair though, Alan, I do like, because you don't, at the race that shan't be named, you don't give a map out.
No, we don't put any map out at all. It's just you come and you run it, and if you like, because it changes.
Well, yeah, mainly because until Friday night happens, you actually have no clue what's going up.
Do you know what happens at the race at Shan't? I'm behind the scenes here. This. So our health and safety plan has all our obstacles. So we have got 45 obstacles. If we put every obstacle out, we'd have 45. Our health and safety plan has all 45 on that list. We don't know where we're going to put them until we get them out of the truck, and then we it's like should we put this, Jamie? And I'll go, what about putting it here? And yeah, all right, let's put it there. And then there's literally about 5 obstacles that are in situ, but everything else goes up as we feel it wants to go up. And it's like, should we put a cone carry here after they've gone over a wall to make it, their arms a little bit harder, or shall we put it the wall after the cone carry? And it evolves, and that's why every year the race is different,
And the solo mudders usually do a different variation of the carry.
And the solo mudders usually do a different variation of it. I like the whole idea. I like to do courses that are different, so that's why I've always done it that way. We change it around.
Maybe that's what Spartan are doing. They don't want people to know that Block Ness is going to be a Spartan super obstacle.
Oh, Ian, we can't say things like that, and it's not going to happen. We're going to get all 13 listeners to complain now if they go down and it's not there.
It would be hilarious. It could be there because the pit will be there.
Yeah, but it's not going to be there.
No, Augustus Gloop, however, will be.
Couple of things. Beast has 800 meters of elevation, according to the map, and so does the sprint. But the super only has 400 meters. That doesn't make sense, that does it?
So the Beast has 800, the super and the sprint only have 400.
No, the sprint has 800 as well.
Okay, so basically they are throwing the sprint up the hills.
Up the hill and back down, yeah. It sounds like it's going to be a different course, though. When you say things like that, to me, it tells me that the sprint's going to be a different course than super, because when I've done Spartans in past, you've got the Beast course and the sprint, so the super is part of the Beast course with a bit cut out, and the sprint is a part of the sprint course, the super course with a bit cut out. This tells me that's not going to be the case in this instance. So you're going to get 3 different courses.
Which is a really cool way of doing it, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. The super might be part of the Beast course, but it's not going to be a shortened version of the super, the sprint. Yeah, I get them all mixed up.
Yeah. To be fair, it doesn't matter, Alan. Why can't we just call it a 5K, 10K and a half marathon?
Yeah, that's right. I agree with you. Talking about maps, Total Warrior maps out.
Yeah, I was confused when you shared this because it looked like you cut the top off.
Did I cut the top? I do this every time when I do their total ones. I didn't cut the top off. I have cut the top off, yes. I didn't mean to.
So it took me a while to work out it was an actual race because some of the obstacle names, I thought, has Alan made this in Canva? Because there was a beer next to the map. So my instant thought was, I bet your Alan's having a laugh here.
It's the actual, it's way of cutting. I didn't cut it off. It was all there when I did it, but it's cut it different. No, I just cut it out of the email that came out. So,
okay.
Yeah.
But it looks good, Alan.
I think it's very similar to what they've had in the past. There's nothing there that I think is going to confuse people. The big thing for me is there's nothing new in, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I can appreciate. Yeah, I can appreciate that. But you also have to wonder, are they keeping costs low to try and basically advertise to a lot of new people?
They do get it, though. They do get the new people because they have one of the best junior sections going, because they open the course up on, I believe it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for juniors. From all the local schools in the area and everything else. They come from miles to it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they do have a big catchment area. It's a super well-attended race. They've always brought something new in the past, and this is the first year that when I look on that list, I don't see nothing new.
Which is a shame, but you know what? If it keeps them going, so if you take a year of consolidation and fundraising, for like a better description, excellent.
Yeah. It's going to be a good race, though. We don't know a lot of people that are going. There's going to be some great people in that elite race. And that, just like there's at Spartan this weekend. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for the series to start this weekend.
And remember, if you're an elite, you have to go in the water. You can't just dip your toes in.
No, you can't. Which brings us, talking about the elite competition, we've got our prediction contest. We talked about it earlier on, but we've got a prediction contest for the whole series this year, aren't we? So we're going to do it for the whole series, and we are going to give a prize away to the top 3. So for the whole year, we're going to give the prize away for the top 3. So you've got to predict them at every race going. We'll put them out a week before. You've got up until the day before the race to get them in. And can you predict the top 5?
I don't know. Well, I know I can, Alan.
I've had a go. I'm having a go. My name's on there. You'll see Muddy Duck on there. I get mine in nice and early.
Yeah. You might not see it there, but I will read them out on next week's show. My predictions may be very similar to the actual results, and I don't know how I keep doing it.
Oh, you can't win.
Yeah. And Alan, speaking of that, whilst we're doing my predictions, I predict that Burnley are going to win the championship.
That's a good prediction, I believe, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an excellent prediction.
Right, haven't they already won? They won last night, didn't they?
You might have done.
Yeah, I think Wrexham are going up as well, aren't they? Aren't Wrexham going
I believe
up as well?
That was my second prediction. Wrexham might go up.
Who's your prediction for the Premiership then? Come on, then, Arsenal or Man City? Which one are you going for?
It's really hard, given the club I want. It's like being asked, do you want to? I don't know. Two horrible things that I can't think of off the top of my head. You know, my head says City. My heart wouldn't mind Arsenal doing it because it's been so long.
New team at top, yeah. I wouldn't mind Arsenal doing it. I do actually think Arsenal are going to do it. I think they've got a good team. Just one more win, isn't it, from them, I believe. I think Arsenal's going to do it. I'm going to say that. Next week, we can maybe talk about this, can't we? Because it might be over and done with by next week.
No, it won't be over and done with by next week. It keeps going until the end of May. So, listener, just so you're aware, on the 7th of June, I will give you exclusively my Premiership prediction.
I love that. We're going to get complaints now because your predictions are always coming right. You're going to be the not complaints. You're going to be like the Nostradamus of sport, aren't you?
Yeah, providing the event has already happened.
Yeah. Who have you got coming on your podcast this week, or do you not know yet?
I have no clue. As you know, in theory, we should have a review edition. The fact that it's on a Sunday and Monday has mucked us up a little bit because it means we'd have to record on a Tuesday, but the person I've lined up can't record till really late. So I need, and we've discussed this, haven't we, Alan? We will figure out something to put next Wednesday because we're not going to miss a show. It may be race interviews. It may be, I don't know, me drunkenly chatting to Alan on the night of the event. That might be an interesting one. On Sunday, I'll give you a call and drunkenly ramble to you, and you can just record it. But yeah, we will have an episode up on Wednesday. And then the London review will come up as a bonus episode. So make sure you hit that subscribe.
Fantastic. And as we touched on earlier, I have got Ollie and Dan who did Coast to Coast at Panama, the rat race event, one of the bucket list events, which is it's been out for a week for our Patreons.
That's so good. That's why you should join Patreon, because where we can, we'll put episodes out early. Sometimes we can't because if something is, for example, embargoed, or as is the case of the Fitness Racing podcast being recorded almost as we're releasing it this week. We can't get to you early, but most podcasts will be there early. I thought, Alan, you need to talk to them pesky Who's Hot. You mean they're not doing their results show on Monday for you? What are we doing on Sunday? They've got plenty of time.
Plenty of time. We did agree. We agreed Who's Hot because having 4 in a row was probably a bit too much. But they are recording a nuts post race this week, I believe. I think Feddy's going to be on there. Chris is going to be on there. Mark Dixon's making a little bit of a comeback again. I think he might be coming there as RD to talk about it. And Will Chung, of course. But that's going to go out as a bonus episode on UKOCR. So we're having a lot of podcasts going to come out in the next 10 days or so. Yeah.
So, listener, we appreciate that you might not be able to listen to them all as they come out, but by all means, that's why it's a podcast. You can listen to it whenever.
Yeah. And if you can't listen to it when it comes out, just click on for 10 seconds. It gives us the click and gives us the stats.
I think we need 3 minutes for IAB. I'd have to check that. Yeah. And anyway, right, Alan, on that, I am going to say happy May Day.
May Day, I like that. You're taking the words out of my mouth. You haven't, because I never thought about that.
But happy May Day, Alan. Enjoy dancing around the pole, which I'm sure you'll be doing because it's a Barnsley tradition. Nothing to do with May Day, just what we do in Barnsley. And it's a goodbye from me.
And thank you, Ian. And it's a goodbye from me, everyone. You take care. Look after yourselves. We'll speak soon.